Guys, in today's video I'll be going over all my indicators and I will give a full in-depth analysis on why I use all of them. Okay, so first let's start off with the smart MCDX. So basically what this does is it tells you where smart money is moving their money. Okay, so basically red is like institutions, big holders, and then green is like, it's kind of, yeah, green's a retailer. 20 is like hot money, so like just people who are hyping into the stock. And then yeah, red is like institutions, and then the blue line shows like where the bankers are moving their money. Okay, so let's see a good example of this. Where is it? Okay, so as you can see here on the iron chart, basically, smart money really started accumulating right here, as you can see, and they rode it all the way up to the top, and then, as you can see, right around there, they just started to sell it until obviously it reached the bottom, and now what can you see? Smart money starting to accumulate it again. So this is a bullish sign for me. This is in the case of iron. Here you can see it again. Nebius, whales are starting to accumulate again. Ondas, whales are accumulating more. UMAC, Galaxy is a huge one. Whales have just started to accumulate on this huge leg up, which I like. I mean, I'm a huge Galaxy fan myself. I mean, as you can see here, BMNR is just all retail right now, which kind of makes sense, but that's a discussion for another day, I guess. Same with BMNR. Lightpath has full institutional ownership, and honestly, one thing about this, guys, is that when this does happen, and it's like full institutional, it really only lasts for a little while, and then you'll usually see like once the bankers start to get out, so will the stock, because they're taking profits, and that's going to make the stock go down. So that's just something to look at. Same thing's happening with Bloom Energy, and usually I find that if you want to accumulate a stock, try and do it when there's this little or when you see like a rise in institutional. Like right here, what do we see? A big institutional, more institutional holdings, and then what happens? Stock goes up 60%. So that's just something to look at. Core Weave or Circle doesn't have any. Let me look at some others. Surfair, that's had like barely any retail or institutional holding, but yeah, it's been on kind of a downtrend recently. Cypher's started to gain some more. This is a stock I'm looking into. Let me look. Yeah, these ones are probably pretty full of institutional holding. Ouster, which is another stock. So yeah, it's just a way that I look at stocks and seeing how they're how institutions are viewing the stock, I guess. And then the next indicator that I use is EMA and SMA stack. And basically, if you don't know what EMAs or SMAs are, I think I explained it in another video, but it's basically like, so SMA is simple weighted moving average, and it's just like how has the stock been moving, and it represents that in a line. And then EMA is exponential moving average, and it favors more like recent price action. The main ones that I look for are the SMAs, though. I feel like those sometimes hold better resistance, and so does the 8 EMA. And yes, I look at the SMAs. I look at all of it, to be honest. But as you can see here, this is a good example. Ouster bounced 1, 2, 3 times from its 200 SMA and has clearly used this as support. What's another? Yeah, Cipher, I know, has held its 100 SMA really well, as you can see, bounce. And then another bounce, and then what else? Oh yeah, here, Surfer Mobility, a stock that I talked about recently. As you can see, clear resistance at this 100 and 200 SMA, which is not a good sign. And oh, one other thing I wanted to point out: Bitcoin has recently got rejected at their 100-day SMA, which I don't think, in my opinion, is not very good for Bitcoin. But we'll see how it holds. And kind of same thing with Ethereum too. And what other ones? Okay, another one's auto fib retracement. It helps you to see fib levels, which sometimes work for stocks. Let's see, good example. Oh, what was that like? Was it hymns maybe? No, it wasn't hymns. Yeah, I forget where it was, but I don't really use this one too much, honestly. BV trend average. It's just like a trend indicator. It basically tells you what trend the company's in. This is another good one I like to use. ICT kill zones. If you're a trader, you may know about this one, but basically you have to scale to 30 minutes, I think, to use it. But it shows session highs and lows, as you can see, Asia lows, London highs, New York lows, all that stuff. And then another one of my favorites is the VWAP, which is volume weighted average price, I think. And yeah, it's a way that I look at like how the stock is doing. Like, does it have resistance? I usually use this on the lower time frames too. Like as you can see here, Bitcoin held it very perfectly, and then obviously it didn't anymore. But usually price tends to follow it. As you can see here, it's like bounce, and then eventually it breaks through. But it's gonna happen sometimes. And then, oh yeah, another good one. Another one of my favorites is RSI, Relative Strength Index. Maybe some of you know that, but it basically shows how overbought or how undersold a stock is. When you see it peaks in the green, this means the stock is very bought. And yeah, so like Ondas here is pretty overbought. I mean, I think it is pretty overbought too. And maybe a stock like Netflix, as you can see, is pretty oversold. I mean, yeah, the stock has gone down, I think like 50% or something like that, or yeah, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, it just shows how overbought or how undersold a stock is. So you usually don't want to buy stocks when they're like at really high on RSI, because usually shows that they don't have that much room left to go. But maybe something like Coinbase, which is also very oversold. So yeah, just a bunch of indicators that I use. And if any of these helped you guys out, let me know. Thanks, guys.